Good morning, family. I'm coming to you from Colorado. I hope everyone is still producing fruit for God. Know that is the mission once you are saved, that there is a life of understanding and deeper meanings that God reveals to you, and definitely peace that God gives you. But the work that we have to do is something for Christ that every man should consider doing for him. The fact that he is a rewarder of good works is an awesome fact, a biblical fact, that he will reward those who work for him. And it's not like the yoke is heavy. He says my yoke is light. His work is light. But I'm here to celebrate my wife's birthday, and so we decided to go to Colorado, and the signs were there. God's always will speak to you through symbolic meanings. Mine happened to be license plates while back in Georgia. So I pulled up behind the car, and sure enough it would say Colorado. So that's the sign from God. Hey, I agree. Thank you for asking me to come with you on vacation or a trip. Thank you for including me. And I'm not just saying that, because if you were to read Proverbs 5:21, it would say, for the eyes of the Lord are on men, and he ponders their comings and goings. So God is in heaven watching down on all of man and child, wondering, hey, where are you going? So don't just say, oh, God's all knowing, he knows where you're going. Well, he may know where you're going once you get there. But don't you want the protection? Don't you want the favoritism as you go? Don't you want to not be held in traffic for 2 hours? Don't you want the favor? You get the favor from God when you include him. So don't leave out symbolism as God talks to you as you pray to him, wherever you go. And don't think that you go on a trip and you're not going to have any work to do for God. It's all just, let me be, I'll do what I want to do. That's that. That's not going to happen. The Holy Spirit's not going to let you do that. I ran into a man at a grocery store, to give you a better view. And I just said, hey, I like your cross. Just a big wooden cross. It was nothing fancy. I was more complimenting that was bold enough to wear it. That led to a conversation of him losing his daughter 10 years ago. It was probably about a 65-year-old man, to a brain tumor 10 months after she had her first child, his first grandson. And he was filled with rage. So Colorado, he was filled with rage. And he had that rage towards Christ. And I may have not had any. I probably had my bits of tantrums towards Christ myself, but mine is never, well, that's mine is why not I have, and why have you taken. So I guess I have been in his shoes to some degree. Everybody has. You should have too. The devil does come to take and destroy, and but you need to be awake when God takes some things out of your life that shouldn't be. You should compliment him on taking some of those things. But he lost his daughter and he had fits of rage, so he got to have an out-of-body experience while not asleep. And I told him my dream about being asleep and how I saw Christ. And the Bible verse says, Christ visits man while man slumbers on their bed. And so he had fits of rage to Christ. He was angry. He took his daughter. She was a believer, church going, and he was a believer, church going. And he wanted to hit Christ in the face, is what he said. He wanted to punch him in the nose. That was his exact words. This man, how he hated Christ. I wouldn't say hate, but church grower to go, 180 to praising him, to wanting to sock him in the face. But God knew his anger like he knows our pain, and he let him experience heaven, a hallway in heaven. He said a wide hallway, this man said. I forgot his name. He said the whole floor was diamond, one big diamond. And the hallway or banquet was huge. And he saw in the distance his daughter dancing. He didn't recognize the man until he walked closer, and it was Christ. And they were dancing, and the thoughts of him were still angry, even though he had real no feelings, he said up there. But he did say he didn't understand it, and that kind of threw me off. He just knew everything. I guess that's because you know everything. So I guess that you just know all the answers. So she was 34 when she passed away from a brain tumor. Blood running down his face, and you know, he said, "This is what you want to do." Basically, no, I don't think any words were spoken from Jesus to him in this vision as he was awake, as he was at the threshold of his hallway of the door. That's funny, he was in his hallway. But it was amazing, even though this man wanted to cry in the grocery store that I stopped out to get beef jerky and whatnot. But the next door down the road I stopped by, because there's only gas stations when you're in a place like this. Look at that snow on that peak. And it's just, you got to be careful with this stuff, right? You don't want this to entice the heart. Remember what Job said? He said, if I let the moon entice my heart away from you, let me be guilty. And Job was a righteous man. He didn't let any of this stuff pull his heart away from loving God. And we shouldn't either. Even though God gave me this trip, it's best to say, man, God, you are an awesome creator. You did this in a day. Wow, your hands are magnificent. It's better to talk that way than any other way when he gives you scenes like this. But I ran into a young lady that was wearing an Antichrist jacket. Oh boy, did that rouse something in me. And instead of really just coming to her with a fierce and utter hate towards her spirit, because that's what was in her, I tried to explain what you're wearing, girl, is an abomination to God, and you have a target on your back, young lady. And it was patches, circle patches, that little garage band's wearing. It had a cross, a red cross with a black diagonal cross out of the cross. And I tried to give, the Holy Spirit tried to give as much information to her as possible about, you know, you only wear that jacket because there is weight of the symbol of Jesus, the cross, of who he is. If there was no weight, then it would be mythical to you. It would be silly for you to wear it. But because you know there's validity into that cross, that's why you wear that jacket. I said, what about the women that come up here for a vacation that may have just gotten out of the hospital and Jesus has healed them from cancer or something, and you wear that jacket and slap them in the face? So I think there was some planting of the seed with her. But it's funny how one gas station of Christ led to a gas station of Satan. The weed and the wheat, right? The good and the bad, everywhere you go. But I want to just give you a view of this place. You know, I can't touch any of this. You can't touch any of it on the other side of this camera. So it's just a good view for me and you. It's like you're here with me, fam. So